ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारत पङ्कजम् कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
धन्यवाद अदिति।
थैंक यू मैम।
ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन विषाद योगः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। मंजरी भगिनी।
धन्यवाद भगिनी। Please read 36 श्लोका भगिनी। प्रभाकान्त महोदय।
अस्तु महोदय। श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। अर्जुन उवाच अत केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः।
धन्यवाद महोदय। Welcome all for the English session of Bhagavad Gita. Good evening, one and all. So last week we were discussing the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna, and Krishna was replying for a question raised by Arjuna in the first chapter, Vishada Yoga. So Arjuna was asking, Kim Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogena, Kim Jivitena Va. Arjuna was feeling that everything is meaningless. So he was asking, I don't want kingdom. He was telling, I don't want kingdom. What to do with happiness? What to do with enjoyment? What to do with kingdom? And what to do with this life itself? So that was the question. And also, he said once, Shreyo Bhoktum Bhaiksham Apiha Loke. So it's better to be a beggar than fighting this war. And once he told that I want to go and become a sannyasi. So Krishna in the previous shloka he says Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavahaha. So your Swadharma, your Niyata Karma, your duty as a Kshatriya right now is to fight and protect your motherland, and you cannot change that. So Paradharma Bhayavahaha, you cannot become a beggar, you cannot become a Bairagi or a sannyasi. Right now you are not trained for that. So now your first duty is to perform your prescribed duty, that is swadharma, that is to fight the war. Then, so now, Kshamata. So Arjuna asks a question. अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः. So he asks, अथ केन प्रयुक्तः अयं पुरुषः पापं चरति. So, oh Varshneya, hey Krishna, impelled by what does a man commit papam charati purushaha, commit a sin? So, Anichannapi, much against his conscience, much even if he is not willing to do so, he does sometimes sin. And Baladiva Niyojitaha, as if there is a greater force impelling him to commit sin. So, Arjuna is asking, so even if we don't wish to do wrong things, sometimes we feel that there is something, some invisible spirit that is making us to do some wrong things, invisible hands they are making us to do sins. Baladiva, forcibly we are doing something wrong, even though we are not intended to do that, but sometimes we do it. So why it happens for Purushaha? Why the Purusha? Why the man does so? Atha kena prayuktoyam, by whom he gets prerna to do so, by whom he gets motivation to do so. Arjuna is asking a beautiful question here, and all of us do this. That is, even if we don't want to do, we do wrong things. Most of the wrong things that we do are like this only. We don't want to do, but then also we do. There are so many examples from the serious matters to the silly things, the day to day things, like serious things. Nowadays, we are reading Bhagavad Gita. We know uh, that we shouldn't get tension, or we should be able to uh, just give all our responsibilities to Krishna. So as he himself has told that Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya. So everything, give the ownership to him and just go on doing karma. In spite of learning that, still we feel tensed in some situations. I think even you people might have experienced. In spite of knowing the meaning of death, what is death and everything, we get shattered when we get some bad news. So, and there are so many things we know that is wrong, but then also we somehow, as if somebody is controlling us, as if nothing is in my hand, as if I cannot control myself. So we do so many things. So in the same way, Arjuna is asking, it is it is someone is controlling us like that, because Arjuna is right now facing that, because he knows that his prescribed duty is to do war, but he's not able to do war. So he is telling who is giving prerna for such thoughts. So he now, Krishna is told that if you don't do war, it's a sin. So each and every one of do such kinds of sins. We know that it is wrong, but then also sometimes we lose our controls. Nothing will be in our hands. Things just happen. So then who is behind such things? So sometimes how we behave is like these animals will be there in the circus, no? So they are under the control of ringmaster. So whatever he instructs, they keep doing that. So for us also it happens like that. So then we just do that as if somebody is controlling us. So we all know that what is right, but we don't do it, and we all know that what is wrong, but we are not able to move out of it, come out of it. So it, and so many situations we do this. So then Krishna Arjuna is asking why people do it, why all the individuals do it. Everybody knows that it is wrong. I also know that it is wrong, but then also I'm not able to come out of it. So in during Mahabharat war, all of you know the story. So just before Mahabharat war, Krishna thinks that why the innocent soldier should be killed, and it's a huge loss in terms of money, wealth, and lives and everything, and effort, time, everything. So Krishna goes for the Sandhana, all of you know, treaty, and then he goes and asks Duryodhana, so don't want war, so we'll do some settlement between the two parties. And then on behalf of Pandavas, Krishna says that, okay, Pandavas want Indraprastha, Indraprastha back. If you cannot do give that, at least give them 5 villages. Duryodhana says no, it's impossible. So they have to win the battle and get their land back. Anyhow, I don't want them to give anything. This you know already. So Krishna says, O Duryodhana, you are born in such a great dynasty. You are born with such a great samskara. You are a Kuruvamshiya. Such a great Vamsha it is. And you are the grandchild of Bhishma Pitamaha. And such a great samskara is there. And you are a Shishya of Dronacharya. Then how come why you are behaving like this? So you know what is right and what is wrong. And why you are behaving like this? So Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi, Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. So Duryodhana says that I know what is right, Janami dharmam. So there is no, and indirectly is telling Krishna that you know there is no need to teach me all these things. I know everything, but I'm not able to practice it. Nachame pravritti, I am not able to implement it. I am not able to follow dharma. I know what is, not that I don't know. I know what is dharma, but I am not able to follow it. I cannot practice this. I cannot implement it. And he says, Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. Also, I know what is adharma, what is wrong thing, but I am not able to come out of it. I am not able to retire from it. Nachame nivrittihi. So he says, I know both, I know dharma, I know adharma, I know what is right, I know what is wrong, but I cannot come out of the wrong things. I cannot practice the right things, says Duryodhana. But even today, it is the state of mind of the humans. It is because, in spite of knowing what is right and wrong, humans do so many wrong things. So, suppose if we have a will, that if we have a wish, or if we have a asha that I should not do a wrong thing. So that asha may be there, that icha may be there, but sometimes it will be very weak. So that willpower, it's not strong, it's very weak. So suppose I can give many examples for this. Icha will be there to come out of it. So it may be laziness, it may be short temperedness, that is getting anger very soon, and it may be addictions like cigarette or alcohol. So people have the itcha to come out of it, but many times they are not able to do so. And then, if I can take a small examples, we know that walking is good for health. But then also, what we do, and morning walk especially, what we do, we keep postponing. Okay, today not, I'll go tomorrow. Okay, after winter season. So we know that it's good for health, but then also at that moment, someone somehow, uh, it is it is out of our control. So we just postpone good things. And a sugar patient knows that it's very dangerous for him to eat sweets. Suppose a patient is having, the sugar levels are really more, his HbA1c is, suppose it is somewhere 9 or something like that. So many times he makes resolutions, he promises himself very frequently that yes, I should not eat sweets, I will not eat how much ever uh, uh, tasty dish it may be, but I will not eat. So once he may not take, twice he may not take, but third time, suppose a delicious sweet is kept in front of him and people are eating, then that 1 second he changes everything, all his resolution goes and everything goes. It's as if somebody is controlling him, so he just takes and eats. It happens to all the human beings in their lives. This is just one example. So we know that pranayama is good, we know that doing exercise is good, we know that laziness is really bad, we know that sometimes timidness, so being very timid, not being bold, lack of courage, so we know that this time definitely I'll tell, I'll ask, or I will do so. I will do some act of show some courage. But when the time comes, as if somebody is controlling us, so again we'll move back to our original nature. So that nature of timidness, that nature of laziness, that nature of short temperedness, or that nature of addictions. So, who has given those things? Has anybody kept those things within us? No, it is over the years we have developed those things, we have practiced those things, and we have icha. There is no doubt that we have icha to come out. Who doesn't want to be healthy and happy? So we want to be healthy, we want to be happy. We have icha to come out of it, but that icha itself is very very weak. It is very very durbala. That's why we are not able to come out of it, because over the years we have practiced all these things, negative things like laziness or timidness or other things. So what happens, because our willpower is not strong, even though anichanapi, so even though we don't wish to do so, we do without uh, our knowledge, we lose control, and we think that somebody is doing it, we are not doing it, some invisible hands are making us to do so, some invisible spirit is motivating us to do wrong things, like that we just lose control and do wrong things. So this is the question asked by Arjuna. It's like he is asking that question on behalf of all the humans. All the humans do this because we know what is right, but then also we do so many mistakes in our daily life. So Arjuna is asking, Kena prayuktaha ayam purushaha papam charati anichannapi baladiva niyojitaha, as if forcefully somebody is making him to do so. So Arjuna asked this question, and this is the explanation for the question. We'll see what reply comes from Krishna. Mahodaya, agre patatu.
अस्तु महोदय। श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एषः रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनमिह वैरिणम्।
Dhanyavad Mahodaya. So Krishna replies, Bhagavanuvacha. So he says, Eshaha kamaha, Eshaha krodhaha. So Krishna, Arjuna asked the questions. No, what is that? Kena prayuktaha. By whom this gets motivated? By whom we are get prerana to do wrong things? So Arjuna, Krishna replies directly, Eshaha, that is kama. Because of kama, we are doing wrong things. That is krodha. Because of krodha, we are doing wrong things. And how this kama and krodha come? Rajoguna samudbhavaha. So they are born out of rajoguna. We have studied trigunas, no? Rajasika, Sattvika, Tamasika. So this kama krodha are results of rajoguna. They are born out of rajoguna. And he describes some of the characteristics of this kama and krodha. They are mahashanaha. Mahashanaha means one who eats a lot. You go on giving, you go on feeding, it never gets satisfaction. Mahashanaha, glutton, it is hottebaka we call in Kannada. And Mahapapma, a great sinner. And Vidhi enam iha vairinam. Hey Arjuna, Vidhi, think that. Enam means him. Him means this kama and kama. Iha, here in this loka, vairinam. Think that he is the vairi in this loka, that kama is the culprit, he is the vairi, that kama is asha, that is desire, and he is the vairi. And uh, one who motivates us to do wrong things is this raga and dresha, or kama and dresha. And uh, who has developed those things, who has kept this raga and dvesha? So it is born out of Rajoguna, but we have developed, we have practiced, and we have made that samskara stronger within us. And so, what happens if that is there, that source is there? What is source? Ragadvesha is source. So then what happens? So it will be expressed in our action. Suppose that ragadvesha is there, then it will be definitely expressed in your action. So if I say that, okay, I'll come out of it, okay, I'll not show laziness, or I'll come out of any addictions, or I'll not show anger. So if I make only resolution is not enough. It is because unless the source within is uprooted, it is driven outside. Till that, if we do it superficially, if you try to come out of it, it's not possible. So what we should do, we should go to the root cause, and then totally just kick it out of our body or our mind, because all of us are custodians of these raga and dvesha. We are under the custody of these things. So we may think that, oh, I am free. There is no need to ask anyone to do. I can take my decisions according to my wish, because I am free. Even a king may think that, yes, I have freedom to do whatever I wish to do. But actually, we sometimes we feel that some people say with a great proud that, yes, I am free to decide. So where, what course I should do, what job I should do, and how my family should be, how my house should be. So I have freedom for everything. But in fact, we are under this kama and krodha. So we listen to this kama krodha. So whatever they guide us, whatever path they show, whatever ask us to do, we do that. So then they are the rulers. So they are ruling us. We are slaves of this kama krodha. So to the outside world, we may be independent, we may be swatantra. So I may be a king to the outside world, but again I am slave to this kama and krodha within. So we are all under the custody of this kama and krodha. So it is inside, and it is controlling us, it is ruling us. Wherever it shows, we go. So that is the uh, work of this kama and krodha. Suppose if I like something, if I love something, or if I love someone, then what happens? First thing is, I want to have that person or that gadget or that thing with me always, isn't it? And then suppose that is a gadget or that is something, so then we want to enjoy that always. So we will have that desire to uh, uh, have that thing, the things that we love, or the person if we love. So we want to have that thing or that person with us always, and we want to enjoy his or her company. So and then to satisfy that, so there is an asha, that is, I want to have that always, I want to enjoy it again and again. So to satisfy that, we'll be ready to spend anything, all our energy, our knowledge, our intellect, our wealth. So we are ready to pay anything for that, because our inside raga dvesha is telling that you like this person so much, so it's okay, you can spend anything for that. And similarly, if I don't like someone, so then again I'm ready to spend my money, energy, and time to destroy that person. It may be sometimes like that also, to destroy that person, or uh, to totally remove that person from my place. So a person will be ready to spend everything whatever he has to remove that person who is on his way. So suppose he thinks that he is his rival, then he will be ready to spend anything uh, to just remove that person from the path. So what is making us to do so? It is kama krodha, who are ruling us from within. So whatever kama krodha say, we just go on doing these things. So Krishna says that from where this kama krodha comes, it comes by rajoguna. So rajoguna, again we have practiced it. It is because of we have acquired it, we have practiced this over the years, so it has come like that. And then he says mahashanaha. So it eats a lot, but it keeps eating this bhogaishwarya. It eats that desire. It wants how much ever we supply, we give, there is no satisfaction. Even if there is satisfaction, it's very temporary. One day, again next day it wants something, next day it wants some other bhoga ishwarya. other materialistic enjoyments. So it keeps asking. So then it's like it's never ending. So, and we cannot satisfy it. It's like putting the wooden pieces to the burning fire. So what happens if the wooden piece, if we put wooden pieces to the burning fire, so again it becomes more violent, the flame becomes more violent, it never stops, it just keeps burning. So this uh, karma is like that only. The more you supply, it becomes more violent. And then maha he says, so that is, it's a maha papi. Who? This karma is maha papi, and it's like a pishachi, or it's like a shaitan or a devil that chases us, isn't it? So to satisfy that, because that karma is within us, so we are ready to do anything. We have seen it may be how much ever the low level work, it may be the work of adharma, it may be work of some insult or losing our reputation, but then also a person does it. So at that moment he is not able to think the consequences. At that moment he takes a quick decision to satisfy his desire. So he has lost the ability to think what is right and what is wrong. So in front of him is just to desire, or just to satisfy his desire. So only that will be, he will be able to see a person who has this kama krodha and their dominant natures. So we see in Ramayana also, we can take an example from Ramayana Ayodhya Kanda. So you all know the story of Ramayana. So there, during the time of Sri Rama Pattabhisheka, the coronation of Sri Ramachandra, so we all know that Kaikeyi goes to Kopagraha. So Kaikeyi was very upset, and she had some other plans. And then Dasharatha enters that room where Kaikeyi was there. And then, as all of you know, Kaikeyi was his favorite, the third wife, and he loved her a lot. And then he goes and asks, "Hey Priye, what do you want? Tell me. I'm ready to do anything for you, whatever you want. Do you want me to release all the criminals for the jail, adharmis from the jail? I can go to that extent. Do you want me to punish all the dharmatmas? I can go to that extent. What I want now is just, I want you to feel happy." So to see a smile on his wife's face, a great king, he goes to an extent that he is ready to punish any dharmatma. And that's what happened. Rama was a dharmatma and he was punished. Why? Rama had not done anything. But Dasharatha, he had become the slave of this, the devil called as Asha. So, which is Mahapapi, or desire, or Kama. So, he had become the servant of Kama. That's why, so he sacrificed his own son. But Anichannapi, he wanted, really, he loved his son so much, no? He didn't want to send him to forest. But what happened at that moment? He wanted only a face on his wife's face. So he wanted only a smile on the face of his wife. He wanted to see her happy. Only that was there in his mind. So that's why he couldn't take right decision. So what happens when a man does like this? Tatkalika. So momentary, for the momentary satisfaction. When he does wrong things, then he suffers a lot, like how Dasharatha suffered. So it happens for all the common human beings. That's what Krishna is telling. So in the next line he says, Viddena miha vairinam. That's why they are your enemies. So if you become their slaves, then they are your enemies. Then he says that they stop you from going towards God, they stop you from going towards peace, they stop you from going towards happiness. So please identify these kama krodha, and they are very, very, very dangerous enemies. No enemies are as dangerous as the enemies within. That's why what we should do, we should identify these enemies and then kick them out and invite or welcome the friends, like Nishkama Karma, and whatever we have learnt in Bhagavad Gita, that is doing the work without any expectation, and uh, Sarvani Karmani, uh, in the God, just dedicate all those things. Naham Karta, Sri Hari Karta. So these are our friends. So how to live happily? There are so many things given in Bhagavad Gita. They are our friends. What are our enemies? Kama, Krodha are enemies. So the only way is to kick them out and take the real friends inside. That's what Krishna is telling. So with the enam iha vairinam, think that this Kama, Krodha are your enemies. Mahodaya, agre patatu.
अस्तु महोदय धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निः यथा यथादर्शो मलेन च यतोल्बेनावृतो गर्भः तथा तेनेदमावृतम्
Dhanyavad Mahodaya. So he is telling, he has told what is the cause of a man doing wrong things in spite of knowing that they are wrong. So Arjuna had asked, so why we do that, and which is the spirit behind it, the unknown spirit, or suddenly we feel that someone is controlling us. Suddenly we think that my mind is not under my control. So for that, Krishna told that directly, that this kama and krodha or raga and dvesha are the culprits. They are the direct causes. So then, how to get rid of it? So to get jnana. So how to get jnana? Where is jnana? We'll find out. So Krishna says that tena idam avrutam garbhas tatha ena idam avrutam. So idam means jnana, avrutam is covered, tena means by him means by kama. So where is jnana? This jnana is covered by ajnana or covered by kama. And then Krishna gives uh, three drishtantas, three examples to explain how jnana is covered by kama. So he says that dhumena avriyate vannihi yatha, like how yatha dhumena avriyate vannihi yatha, like how the fire is covered by the smoke. And then yatha adarshaha malena cha, like how mirror is covered by dust. Yatha ulbena avrutaha garbhaha, like how the embryo or the fetus is covered by the womb of the mother. In the same way, jnana is covered by kama or ajnana. So very beautifully Krishna gives the examples. So he says that jnana is not outside at all. There is no need to search it here and there. Jnana is within us, in all the creatures, in all the jiva rashis. There is a jnana naturally. It is God given. And then, but it is covered by ajnana. It is covered by kama krodha. What is kama krodha? It is ajnana. It is covered by ajnana. So then when we can remove that cover, then it becomes visible. So how to do it? So what happens when there is suppose charcoal is there, or something is not burning properly, so what happens? Only smoke. So the fire is not visible, the flames are not visible. So if you put some effort, so and then if we put some if we blow that, then what happens? We can see the flame, we can see the fire burning, and then the smoke is also removed, the smoke also is gone. So then we can see the clear flames burning. So what we did, we put some effort. Otherwise it was everywhere smoke and we were not able to see the burning fire. In the same way, if the mirror is covered with dust particles, then what happens? We cannot get any reflection out of it. So if we take a piece of cloth or a paper and wipe it properly, clean it, then it starts shining, and also we can see the reflection in that mirror. And the same way, in the womb, in the mother's womb, the baby will be there. So what we should do there? We should wait for 9 months, we should wait for the proper time, and then we should do some work to bring out that baby. Only then that cover, it gets detached on its own, as all of we know. So it gets detached. So what we have to do, we have to put effort in each of these cases. So for that fire to burn, we have to blow air, only then it started. And the mirror to become visible, or to see our own reflection, we have to clean it. And for the baby to come out, there are two things. That is, we have to give right time for that. We have to wait for some time, and also we should put effort, and then the baby comes out. So our jnana is like this. It is covered by ajnana. So what we should do, we should put effort. So, and then we should remove that cover, and then jnana becomes visible. When jnana becomes visible, so that we will be out of this kama, krodha, dvesha, and which really brings pain. We have seen in case of Dasharatha how he died out of uh, guiltiness, isn't it? So he suffered a lot. It is because he listened to the kama, krodha, or whatever he had in his mind, or the asha. So what happens? A person suffers a lot who listens to these things. So if we have to come out of it, we have to put some effort and see jnana, and then we also can have a peaceful life, happy life. That's what Krishna says. For that, we have to put some effort to see the jnana which is within ourselves. So this shloka, next shloka, and three shlokas, Krishna talks about jnana. महोदय अग्रे पठतु.
अस्तु महोदय। आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च।
धन्यवाद महोदय. ज्ञानम एतेन आवृतम. ज्ञानम, this jnana, आवृतम, covered, एतेन, again एतेन, by this means kama or ajnana, we can take it also. And this is jnaninaha nityavairina. It is covered by nityavairi of jnani. This kama is a permanent enemy of jnani. One who is jnani, one who is a scholar, one who has knowledge. So for him, this kama is a permanent enemy. And then he kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. So dushpurena, one which is never completed. Like anala means fire. So that fire, what it does, it always demands ghee, that we should pour ghee, and then it burns. The more you pour ghee, it keeps burning, it becomes more violent. So you can never satisfy that. So this kama is also like that only, Krishna says. So this kama is nityavairi of a jnani, and it is impossible to satisfy that. Dushpurena means impossible to satisfy that, and the jnana is covered by such a kama. Such kama which is impossible to satisfy, kama which is the enemy of the jnanis, and our jnana is covered by such kama, says. So, so what is the culprit that is covering our jnana? That is kama. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says that wherever kama is there, there cannot be Rama. So Rama is not visible unless kama is kicked out of that place. So both we cannot see at the same place, he used to say. So because this kama is the permanent enemy of jnana. So when a person goes, when a person is attracted by these materialistic things, then what happens? He forgets the journey towards God, or he forgets the journey towards the salvation or happiness. Because when a person seeks knowledge, or when a person wants to have peace of mind, so what happens is he will be on his spiritual journey, but on the way he gets so many obstacles like this materialistic attractions. He becomes engrossed in that. He forgets his destination. He forgets that once he wanted to have peace of mind. So he is in search of that. He forgets because he gets engrossed in that. Because this everybody is attracted towards the tatkalika, that temporary happiness. That is the reason why all the human beings suffer a lot. So again, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to give an example that these traders, so they used to store their groceries in some big godowns, and then there was always a threat of this rats and rodents. So they, what they used to do, uh, because if they are allowed, if they know that so many gunny bags are there filled with grains, so they would come and spoil everything, they would eat away everything. So what they used to do, those traders, so they used to just keep some the spoiled grains, or some puff rice like mandaki you call, no, so such things which are cheaper in rate also, and which are not of good quality. So they used to, on the way where these rats and all these move, they used to keep those things there. So those rats, they used to come and eat these things and go away. So they never knew that there is a big go down there, and where so many fresh grains are there. So the rats, they were unaware of that thing. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa says that it happens to us also. So there is a big go down there, and the abundant happiness is there. But what we people do, on the way there are so many temporary happiness, or there are so many materialistic things which are very attractive. So we forget ourselves. So we get engrossed in that, we get engaged in that, and we forget our destination. So that's what is happening. So he says that all these materialistic things, this and this asha and other things, how much ever you give, they never feel satisfied. So uh, it keeps demanding, it keeps asking still more, still more, still more. It may be kama, it may be krodha, it may be mada, it may be matsara. So as you keep feeding it, it demands more and more. So in Bhagavata Purana also there is a story of Yayati. You people, maybe some of you may be at least knowing it. So what happens? So he was immersed in enjoying the materialistic pleasures, sensual pleasures, and because of curse, so he gets old because of curse, and he goes to an extent that he wants to enjoy that again, little more, still more, still more. So then he borrows youthfulness from his own son Puru. So Puru is such a Pitru Bhakta. So he says, okay, my father is asking, okay, I don't mind, I'll become old, I'll give my young body to my father, because my father wants to enjoy with that young body, he wants to enjoy sensual pleasures. So Puru gives his body, so that Yayati goes to an extent that he demands sacrifice from his own son. So it is because as and when you feed, you give, that you supply for that karma, so it never gets satisfied. So it still asks, it is demanding, it's demanding. So it is like the fire, if you go on pouring ghee to that, so it becomes more violent, it never gets satisfied. That's why one should be very be aware of this, that one should be never under the illusion that okay, I will give whatever it asks, and then I'll get satisfied, or once it gets satisfied, then I'll not do it again. But it's not like that, it keeps demanding. The only way to come out of this is we have to increase our knowledge and be far from this uh, kama, that is desire. That's what Krishna is telling. Mahodaya agre patatu.
अस्तु महोदय। इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिः अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्।
धन्यवाद महोदय। इंद्रियाणि मनः बुद्धिः अस्य अधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैः विमोहयति एषः ज्ञानम् आवृत्य देहिनम्. So now Krishna is telling Indriyaha, Manaha, and Buddhi. So, where this Kama stays, what is the home of this Kama? What is the dwelling place? Ashrayasthana. So, what is the Ashrayasthana? Our own Indriya, Manasu, and Buddhi. So, they give shelter to this Kama. And then through these Indriya, Manas, and Buddhi, Kama attacks a Jivi, Dehinam, and Vimohayati deludes that person. And through these three things are there, no? Indriya, Manaha, and Buddhi. So they invite all this Kama, they invite these negative things, and then they give shelter for such things. And then through these things, this kama dilutes the individual. So this kama is compared to a vishakrimi, that is like a virus or bacteria we say, no, that cause diseases. So this kama is also like that. They say it is poisonous krimi. It is a germ, and then it gets multiplied. Where like how the malaria thing, no, the mosquitoes causing malaria, we know that if there is stagnant water, then they multiply there. In the same way, this germ or this krimi called as kama, where it grows in our indriya, manaha, and buddhi. Our indriya, manaha, and buddhi are the homes for this kama. So they give shelter, they give nourishment, they nurture those things, they nourish those things. So among these indriya, manaha, and buddhi, the indriya is the one which is sthula. Sthula means which is visible. So as you know, indriyas are visible to us. What they do, they establish contact between the outside Vishaya Vastus like Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha, Shabda, and then uh, it enjoys that. It will have some experience with that. Then once it gets the experience, once it enjoys something with the external materialistic things, then it wishes to have that again and again. So the mind will be lingering around that. So that is one thing. First thing is indriya. And then what happens in our body, there is something which is still more subtle than indriya, that is manas, mind. It is subtle, but it is very very strong. So it is, once when the sthula sharira, through indriyas we enjoy something, we experience some pleasures, then what happens, the mind, it will develop some samskara. The mind will be lingering always around that. It will be pondering, oh, it was so nice, I want to have it again, I want to have it again. So it will be thinking like that only. And there is one more thing called as buddhi, which is subtler, which is still more subtle, which is still more sukshma compared to manas, but very very powerful. It is more powerful than manaha itself. So if in the mind the samskara, the asha is strong to enjoy that sensual pleasure, then what happens, the buddhi starts uh, planning how to get it. So it starts some ideas. Buddhi, even though it knows which is right and which is wrong, but it obeys the manas. Manaha is the controller. So if manaha asks buddhi to do some wrong things, buddhi does it. If buddhi is it is not the decision maker, even though it's very powerful, but it does many things to satisfy the karma. So it is finally buddhi which performs the action, which brings the desire into the action. We fulfill the desire. It is the buddhi which works actually. So for this, I can give you a small example. Actually, it has happened. So there was a boy, maybe he was in ninth standard, 14-year-old maybe. So he had a exam. So just 2 3 days before the examination, boy was sick. He had fever, cold, cough, and all those things. So he mother took him to the clinic, to the doctor, and while returning home, the child sees the panipuri and this fast food stalls will be there, no? So samosa, what and all may be there, I don't know. But the child sees that, and then he asked his mother. So he gets tempted because Indriyas were reporting. Indriyas saw, the eyes saw those stalls, the panipuri and the fast food or junk food stalls, and then I reported. Then the boy asked his mother. Mother says that no, no, you have examination, so don't want now, and also you were very sick, so you shouldn't eat. So let us go home. So let your exams get finished. I'll take you to a safe place where hygienic and all those things are good. So I'll take you there where it is hygiene, not on the street food. You shouldn't eat. So the child comes home. So what happens? The indriya, the eyes reported that there is a panipuri stall, and the nose also reported that the smell is something which is attractive or which you like. So they just report it. Then what happens next? The child sees a bus, the Indriya, the eye sees a bus, it reports. I sees the road, it reports. I sees the house, it reports. So I stop thinking about Panipuri. So whatever comes in front of it, it's reporting. Nose also, whatever comes in front of it's reporting. But it is the mind which is holding that Panipuri. So the mind is thinking about it. Even if the mother denied, the mind was thinking about it all the night. So then what happened next day morning? It is buddhi. Buddhi understood that mind has made some strong will to eat it. So mind is not away from that panipuri at all. It's thinking about that only. So the buddhi makes plan. When the mother is out for work, father is also out. The son was alone at home, and what he did, the buddhi did. It started searching money. The buddhi made a plan. Buddhi thought that so what? Now I can go. Nobody is there. Who will tell my parents? So I can go. So the buddhi gave the prerana that search money. So he got money in his mother's purse. He locked the house. He went. He ate so many things, whatever he wanted to eat. And by that time his parents returned home, the boy was really sick. So then he started throwing and all those things, and parents were shocked. The previous day they had taken him to hospital and medicines were started. Why this became more? Instead of, they expected that the child will be better, but it was not like that. They again took him to doctor. The child had no courage to tell that he ate all these things. And doctors were also confused. In spite of giving such a strong medicine, the child's symptoms, they have increased still more, means the infection must be really more. So they wrote some tests and then gave them stronger medicines. So result, the child was he was not able to get up from the bed. So and then after many days, somehow mother came to know that he did all these things, and then she told it to me. And here I want to tell you that how the indriya, manasu, and buddhi work. Indriya duty is indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Tasya Prajna Pratishtita, we have seen in Chitta Prajna shlokas. So Indriya does its duty, that's it. But Manasu, it is the Manasu which lingers around that, and the Buddhi which performs the action. This is how in our body the Indriya, Manasu, and Buddhi work. That's why Krishna is telling. So Indriyani Mano Buddhihi Asya Adhishthanam Uchyate. So these are the three things which give shelter to Kama. So this is how the karma works. So that's why to come out of it, what we have to do, we will see in the next week. So just Krishna has told that these three things are the places which give shelter to the karma, and then how to kick out that karma. Next week we'll see. So let us finish it and we'll do a Mangala Shloka and then Parayana. Dhanyavada Sarvebhya. Thank you all.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तु शान्तु शान्तिः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ साईराम Bhagini, Sukanya is not there. Can you please call whoever
Yeah, I will
wants?
call Bhagini. Will you finish Shanti Mantra or we'll do it at the end?
Yeah, now I
शान्तिमन्त्र
finished.
अहं वदामि
Now I finished.
You finished? Okay, sorry, Bhagini.